Hello and welcome back to the Cardonomics YouTube channel. So today I just wanted to talk about Paldea Evolved in particular, but I want to go over some previous Sword and Shield sets only because there's more data to go over. And what I want to point out is more so that the opportunity that there is in sealed booster boxes and how long we've got to get into these positions to be able to take advantage of situations that just happened like now in Australia, how we've just had Paldea Evolved being sold out at distribution level. Now, I believe this happened in the US already, so we can have a look at the result of that, what occurred after that happened, and it's a similar pattern that repeats in Pokemon. So, again, we can just point out the opportunity there, how often it might come up, and how long we've got to actually get in position to take advantage. So, that's what I want to point out in this video. So we'll go over a few slides and I'll just explain my thoughts behind everything. So I've just got perkydata.io, Paldea Evolved Booster Box. We can see the chart here. This is all time, so basically from when the set come out all the way till now. And as you can see, comes all the way down, and we've got all this time here to buy Paldea at silly cheap prices. And I like to use up Paldea as an example because it is a decent set. There's a bit of hype around the set. When the Magikarp took off, there was a lot of eyes on it. So the demand's there and is still there for the set. So this is always the same sort of story with all sets, but the more sets that are popular, the more in demand sets are the ones where we see more of an upswing, once it's out of stock. And distribution is the first phase because retailers still have stock, but that's when you'll see the price start to creep up, and then you get sort of something that happens like what's happened here. So there's only been one print, so we've got start of the set, all this time, you got here, let's just say May, all the way here, almost a whole year to buy at pretty cheap prices. And then all of a sudden we got this, up to 200 AUD as we speak. And this is mostly American data, so the US went out of print around about here. It's very apparent on the chart. When there's no more stock at distro level going through to retail, they're only going to have so much stock before they get bought out. And that's why they tend to raise prices as their stock levels get low because they can't buy more at wholesale. And all we've got left is basically the secondary market after they run out. So that's who dictates the market. And I'll show you a few Sword and Shield sets after this, but we'll just get into the TCG chart. They've only got a year of data when you look at it, but they've got a nice percentage gain here, 42%, let's say. And again, all this time here, this is in USD now, sub 100 until we get, all right, out of stock and 40%. And this only took, let's say 6 months. So 40% in 6 months isn't too bad. Even if you accumulated this for the whole year, to be up 40% in a year is a pretty decent return. So, yeah, again, this is the opportunity that's in Pokemon. There is every chance this set can be reprinted, and I'll go over the scenario there, but this is exactly how I'll get into a position, when buying Pokemon Sealed. That's what I mainly invest in. I think it's the easiest to get right. Uh, every set that Pokemon's made has gone up over time, so it's basically the blue chip of trading card investing. So stick with Pokemon, have a long-term mindset, you're going to do all right. So Brilliant Stars, again, you see when it first come out, all this opportunity to buy, plenty of sales that are around that 160, 180 mark. And then once stock started to run out, you start to get the run up. And Brilliant Stars received a reprint. And then we see prices retrace back to around what they were. And again, you got the opportunity again. So the best play here would be you got all this time to buy. Every time you see cheap listings, you see a sale. Stores might be wanting to get rid of stock for cash flow. You might go around your local marketplaces and see secondary market sellers wanting to sell stuff because they need money. There's a whole bunch of time to pick up cheap boxes, through this phase, and you've still got opportunity here when it goes up to sell some of your position. So you don't have to sell all of it. There is a chance that a set may not get reprinted, but the ideal scenario you want to be in as an investor is, okay, come up with a plan. How am I going to buy products? Whatever money you earn, you can put aside a percentage of your income to invest in Pokemon cards. Might be one booster box a week, one every 2 weeks, a booster box case every month. You can put money more towards the ones you have higher conviction in. A basic rule of thumb there is you can go to sites like pokedata.io. You can check set values, which is how much cards in that set are selling for, and the ones with the higher value are most likely going to be a better play in the long term. So if you're buying booster boxes around the same retail price anyway, well, you can go more heavily into those that tend to perform better, which are the higher value sets. The more popular sets are pretty easy to gauge if you know Pokemon. But again, let's say for instance, this whole time we've purchased 30 booster boxes. We've got this little phase here where stock starts to dry up and there's no reprint news yet. From 160, 180 to say 230, 240. That's a decent return. We can now sell part of our position at this point here to cover our initial investment and be left over with boxes that are virtually risk-free. So that's the best position you want to be in. And you can rinse and repeat this process. Even with the same booster box, reprint. All right, let's buy more Brilliant Stars. Now we're back here. So much opportunity, so long. You're going to pick up those bargains again. And inevitably, that reprint's going to dry up and prices are going to start to go up again, which is what you see now. There's usually a 2-year window for Pokemon, so you can take advantage of this 2-3 times, however many times a set gets reprinted. If it doesn't get reprinted, let's say, and you sold half your position up here, well, you're still left with half with virtually no risk. So not a bad play, because there's always going to be another set that comes out where you can repeat this process. There's always going to be another Revolving Skies or another, whatever the best set of that era is. That opportunity is going to come again, so don't feel bad about letting go of some of your position. We can see the same thing with Lost Origin. Again, all this time, this chart isn't as nice looking, and this is only compromise of what sales data pokedata.io is able to gather. So if there's not as many sales, you're going to get this in the chart, which looks ugly, but we can still use it. Plenty of sales here. Again, 140, 160. Lost Origin up here. Really, no one took notice here. You had all this time to get in. All this time here. And then all of a sudden, bang. You can almost double your money on this one. So if you accumulated all through here at an average of $160, you can sell half your position up here and still have half of your position for free, risk-free. That is the perfect scenario when you're investing. Let's go over the last one here, Silver Tempest. Same scenario. You got this time here. You got a nice run up here. You could take advantage here. You're going to get a nice return. Silver Tempest was the last set of Sword and Shield to come out. If you really like to, but again, if you just hold all this time, you can still accumulate through all here. Always set your limit. Once it goes here, there's other sets that will probably be better off, in your portfolio to buy. You don't want to be buying Silver Tempest at 240. You're going to be buying Silver Tempest at 150, 160. So you can choose to sell if you've accumulated enough, or you wait for this reprint all the way down, You got all this time to buy again. Reprint, same scenario. Starts to dry up and we start to climb. And again, you can take advantage of this. Sell a few, reinvest that money into sets that are down here. Rinse and repeat. It's so easy with Pokemon, yet people don't have the patience. People don't have this, just to zoom out and just have a look at the data. It's all there. Very, very easy. And this is just a simple thing you can do, if it's something you enjoy. And it can be very profitable and fun to do. I like looking at data myself. I enjoy it. So this kind of stuff for me, I can do it all day, every day. Whether or not you enjoy it as much as me, it doesn't take long, and you can see the same pattern repeat over and over again. And one of the first videos I brought out on YouTube, you can go over that. You can check how I created a formula to see, where booster boxes lie in opportunity range, low or high opportunity. It's a good one to go over. And again, these are all just simple tools we can all use to help make a decision or an informed decision so we can make, more successful and better decisions or have a higher success rate with the decisions we make about our investments. And that's all that this is about. We're not going to win them all. We're probably not going to play them all, as we plan because the emotion might get the better of us. But that's practice will make us better over the long term. So that's all I basically want to go over today. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.